Hi friends, in this session we'll discuss the study plan for FRM Part 1's 2024 session, which is the best study plan for FRM Part 1 preparation. So I would recommend you to use the study plan and make sure your preparation is very optimized and frictionless. Today is the 3rd Jan, so I would like to wish you a very happy new year and I wish you great success in 2024. Now, let's talk about the study plan. What we will cover here. In study plan, we will discuss the exam structure. Based on exam structure, how you should strategize your preparation, what is the advantages of self-study, what is the classes, which approach you should follow. If you are going with the classes, what should be a study plan? And with this, we will also discuss the topic sequence and difficulty level of topics. Now, this topic sequence, which is a study plan in general, this particular file will be available in the description. Also, this will be available on our website in the free resources section. You can download it from free resources, free downloads. This particular plan in 2023 was downloaded and used by 3,500 plus students. So from this, you can understand how good the study plan is. Now, before we begin our discussion, my introduction. My name is Shashank Vande. I'm certified FRM and teaching faculty for FRM, CFA and CA Final AFM at Falcon Edifin. Falcon Edifin is GAP approved preparation provider where we provide the most exam oriented classes for students so that they are able to excel in their examination. Now to our discussion. Now the logical starting point of our discussion is the exam pattern. So what happens on the exam day? So first we will understand that. And based on the exam pattern or the exam structure, we will see how to prepare, what tools to use, how many mocks to appear, when to appear for the mock, how much time is required for the preparation and everything. So we will discuss all the points here. Now let's first understand the exam pattern. Exam pattern for FRM Part 1 is very simple. So you will get 100 questions in the examination. 4-hour exam is there. And this is CBT, computer-based testing. Okay. Now here we have 4 books to prepare. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, Book 4. Book 1 is for Foundations of Risk Management. I'm taking the order given by the GAP. So Book 1 is for the Foundations of Risk Management. Then Book 2 is Quants. Book 3 is Financial Markets and Products. Book 4 is Valuation and Risk Models. You have to expect this from the GAP. So you will get 20 questions from Book 1, 20 from Book 2, 30 from Book 3 and 30 from Book 4. So 20, 20, 30, 30. This is the proportion in your examination. Now if you consider the nature of these subjects, this N stands for numerical, T stands for theoretical. So this book 1 is 20% numerical, 80% theoretical. So mainly the theory subject. Then book 2 is 70% numerical, 30% theoretical, 60% numerical, 40% theoretical, and 70% numerical and 30% theoretical. So this is the overall structure. Now here, as we already discussed, this will be 100 mark examination. You have to solve all 100 questions in 4 hours. Okay. Out of these 100 questions, expect based on past trends, expect 35 numerical, pure numerical where you have to use the calculator and tick the correct answer, like that type of numerical. And remaining are theory. But remember, this theory does not mean from the theory section. On the numerical side, you can expect or you will get theoretical questions. So numerical as in there is a formula. For example, we have chapter on binomial option pricing. So binomial option pricing is mainly conceptual chapter where we have a lot of concepts, formulas and everything. On that side also, or on this side also, you can get theoretical questions. So be prepared for this. So numerical 35, theoretical 65. Again, based on previous trend, it may change slightly in your examination, maybe 30 or 40 can happen. Out of these 35, 30 questions are manageable. 30 questions are manageable and 5 are difficult questions. Again, based on past trends. Now, what is the meaning of this manageable questions? If you have conceptual clarity means absolute conceptual clarity. If I wake you up in the morning, say 5 a.m. and ask you some question relating to that chapter or the concept, then you should be able to answer it. That type of clarity you need to have to make sure you are able to score these 30 questions in the examination. Then you have to practice enough. Please remember, I am saying practice enough. I'm not saying practice 5,000 questions, 3,000 questions, practice enough. And this enough is different for different students. And you must have the mindset. What type of mindset? Mindset to deal with exam like FRM. I'll just add one point here for you, and we will see what type of mindset you need to have. Then in theoretical questions or theoretical side, 35 are generally manageable, 40 are slightly difficult. Now these manageable are from numerical section, from theoretical section. You can expect some direct questions like you read, you remember, and you are able to reproduce it in the examination. So those type of questions. So here conceptual clarity is must. Here conceptual clarity is must, but also you must be able to remember information and reproduce information in the exam. I'm intentionally not giving you the specifics of what type of question to expect, because first it is not like allowed, and second there is one more problem. Right now most of you are going to like not yet started your preparation, so even if I give you example you won't be able to understand. So for this reason I'm not giving you any specifics, but just understand on the surface level. Okay, so 30 are manageable, but you must have conceptual clarity. This is the primary condition. Without conceptual clarity, it doesn't matter even if you practice 5,000 questions, you won't be able to score in these 30 questions. Same is applicable for 25 questions. Now, what about these 5 questions? These 5 questions, I'm taking slightly on the higher side. It should be around 2 to 3 questions, but I'm taking 5 questions. These 5 questions are really difficult. Really difficult, as in, it is really difficult to pick the correct answer or solve these questions in the examination, even if you practice 3,000 questions and have conceptual clarity. Okay, so don't bother about these 5 questions. Simply say, okay, these 5 questions, if I am able to solve, I will solve. If I am unable to solve, that's it, fine, no problem with that. And this is the one of the mindset you need to have. Now, next, for these 40 questions, you need to apply a slightly different strategy. First, you need to have conceptual clarity. Second, you should be able to remember all the points and reproduce it in the examination. And then third, you have to think about the question, make sure you are able to understand the options and take the best option available. And if you have really good conceptual clarity, you will be able to score really good in this section also, even though this is difficult. Difficult as in, why I'm saying this as difficult, remember, if you sit in the examination, you can't say for sure whatever you are taking is correct. And that's why I count these questions as difficult, because these are the questions which will give you the feeling of difficulty. Like, okay, I'm not able to take with full assurance. So this question becomes difficult. This is how students think, right? So for this reason, I'm taking this as difficult. Okay, this will be your overall exam structure. Then passing score. So you have to pass in totality. So there will be, say, cutoff point. I'm assuming the cutoff point of 60. So let's say cutoff point is 60. So you have to score above 60 in total. You don't have to pass subject wise. Okay. So even if some student says, okay, I'll focus only on these two subjects, I will score 30 in these two subjects and 0 in, say, these subjects. Okay. Doesn't matter. You will be able to pass if you are able to score full. Again, this is assuming, we are assuming the passing score is 60. This is not recommended strategy. I am giving you the example. Like, these subjects as an individual subject doesn't matter a lot from the passing perspective, because passing is decided based on the total score or total marks. Okay. Now, how to get the conceptual clarity, how many questions to practice, how to build the mindset, everything will be a part of discussion from here. Now this is the FAQ section, which you should know or you must know. Now, how much time is required to prepare? Ideally, and my recommendation is, if you spend 2 hours on daily basis plus 6 hours on weekends, then 4 months are enough to prepare for the FRM Part 1 examination. 4 months are really enough. But here you have to make sure your complete focus is on exam only. You are not going here and there. Okay, let me try something else. Let me jump from one question bank to another. Let me jump from one study notes to another. Let me jump from one classes to another. So all those things should not happen. It will create unnecessary friction in your preparation. So I'm assuming like straight decided preparation for next 4 months, 2 hours on daily basis, 6 hours on weekends. And here I'm also including some weeks where you won't be able to prepare at all. So here I'm assuming 1 or 2 weeks will be like, okay, you lost all the week and like lost the specific week, 2 weeks, and still you will be able to prepare. So in 4 months, right? So this is the first part. How much time is required? So 4 months are ideal. But now let's say, what if you're watching this video before 3 months of your examination? Yes, it is possible to clear examination in 3 months. Then you have to apply some disaster recovery plans. So you have to apply some DRPs, and DRPs are very different. Definitely, I can't tell you DRPs, the disaster recovery plans for FRM Part 1 in the video itself. But yeah, definitely I'll tell you in person, like how to manage preparation in 3 months. Now again, what if you say like I'm watching this video just 2 months before examination and my preparation is only say 20% done, how to do or what to do in this particular case? Then I would like to tell you, even in 2 months, there is a high chance or high possibility to clear examination. There is a possibility, substantial possibility that you will be able to clear examination. But again, your DRP will be again very like very different. Okay, so you have to apply some shortcuts, you have to apply some strategies. Smart work is involved there if you want to prepare and clear examination in 2 months. But remember, this is disaster recovery plan, meaning we are assuming the disaster already happened. So for if you want to make sure that there is no disaster in your preparation, start your preparation early, 4 months before examination, and you'll be able to prepare in very smooth manner. Now this is the first question. Second, self-study or classes? If you ask me, I am more of a self-study person than a classes person. But from the student's perspective, I would like to tell you, there are advantages and disadvantages of self-study and classes. Now, one more question we have here. Is it possible to pass examination with self-study? Yes, definitely. There is no examination in this world which you cannot pass with self-study. Okay. So this is about the self-study. Yes, it is possible to pass exam with the self-study. But here the problem is, if you are planning to go with the self-study, make sure you are the self-study person. Don't just prepare self-study or just don't use the self-study method to save some amount on tuition classes, or you think you have some misconception about the self-study versus classes. Okay, I'll clear out those misconceptions. Now in self-study, the only advantage or two advantages I can tell you is, first, you will be able to save on tuition fees or classes fees. And second advantage is you get to explore a lot. But because if you're doing self-study, you will get stuck. If you get stuck, you will do research and everything. And this is like good. If the people or students who want to explore, for them self-study is good. But this exploration part and difficulty in understanding in chapter or the concepts will consume, like you will end up consuming a lot of time. So this is the problem with the self-study. There are disadvantages of the self-study. One more disadvantage I would like to tell you is, if you are preparing using a certain now book will provide you all the concepts, and exam is at some different level. So there is a gap between what is written in the book and the way those concepts gets tested in the examination. And you have to make sure you fill this gap with the self-study. And with self-study, it is difficult to fill this gap because you never appeared for the exam. So you don't know what happens in the examination, what type of questions to expect in the examination. And this is the problem. So you have to deal with this problem if you are doing the self-study. Now with the classes, the disadvantage of the class is only like you have to pay fees, the extra cost you incur. Rest of the points are advantages only. And here I am assuming the Falcon's classes, so I can't speak for everyone else. But with the Falcon's classes, one, you will get the conceptual clarity. You will be able to save a lot of time in your preparation. If you compare this with the self-study, a lot of students think like self-study is time saving and classes are time consuming because they have to watch video, then again read for themselves and do the self-study. Of course, self-study is also required with the classes. So let me tell you, or let me clarify you this particular thing. Self-study is way more time consuming compared to the classes. Reason is very simple. In FRM curriculum, we have difficult concepts which takes a lot of time to understand by self. In video, everything is served to you. It is ready-made for you. You will get to understand things in direct manner, right? And if this is happening, obviously you'll be able to save a lot of time. So instead of wasting time and exploring everything, you get everything in the ready-made format. So that's a benefit for you. With classes, again, the one more advantage is you don't have to bother about filling your gap of preparation and exam, because in every class I will specifically tell you In this chapter, these type of approaches are generally followed by the GAP. So prepare from this angle, build this particular perspective on this particular concept. Concept is written in straight manner, but you have to think from like this particular angle. So all these things are there in the classes. So these are the advantages of the classes, and obviously you will get the every material, question bank and mock test and everything. So all those are additional things, but the main advantages are self-study versus classes. Just to summarize the point, yes, you can pass with the self-study. Second, choose self-study if you are self-study person, and not the classes person. I am not the classes person, I'm more of a self-study person. And then if you have to choose classes, if you think like you want a foolproof preparation with classes, definitely you will be able to do the foolproof preparation. If you compare self-study versus classes, definitely you will be able to score higher with the classes than self-study, because as I said, the gap in your self-study and exam, it is difficult to fill with the self-study itself, but this gap will be filled with the classes. Next is the preparation tools. Now here I can't talk about the any third party preparation tools, because we have conflict of interest, because I also provide question bank, study notes and everything. We have our own question bank study notes, and if you don't know, like we are GAP approved preparation provider, so you can use our study notes, question bank and topic sequence. Topic sequence is the sequence of topic which you should use for your preparation. Most important, we will cover this in the later part, in the same video itself. In the end part of this video is the topic sequence. Now about the question bank and the study notes. So here I will give you general idea, and here I would exclude Falcon's study material and question bank. Okay, otherwise this will become a marketing video instead of the guidance video, and which I want to give you the guidance video instead of marketing video. I'll do marketing in the separate video, right? Now in the notes you have two options. One is the GAP notes and second is the third party notes. Now in the GAP notes, if you think like, let's go with the GAP notes. There are some disadvantages with the GAP notes. GAP study notes are written for general guidance. Okay, so these are not very exam specific notes. So in lot of cases, the learning objective is something else, the content is something different, and also in a lot of cases there are proofs given, the additional information given, which is not important for your examination. So it will consume a lot of time of your preparation. Okay, so you have to make sure, if you want to go with the GAP notes, then you must have a lot of time in your hand, because it will take a lot of time. On the other hand, when it comes to the third party notes are generally designed for examination. So I keep my focus on exam and students. Okay, so I didn't bother about what additional content is written in GAP. So I will use GAP as a base material, write it in my own language, and will provide you information in a manner which is only useful, or which is useful for your examination. So this is the advantage of not just Falcon study notes, but the third party study notes. So third party study notes, you will be able to save a lot of time. You will be able to focus on the examination. And if you prepare, say, from 1000 pages instead of 2000 pages of GAP, obviously now you know this is my important area, and you will be able to remember and recall properly in the examination. So my general recommendation is third party notes, but yeah, you can use GAP notes if you have a lot of time in your hand. Now next is a question bank. Now there are a lot of question bank in the market. Even the Falcon's question bank is in the market. Now my recommendation is always choose easier question bank compared to the difficult question bank. Why easier question bank? Because easier question bank will help you in building concepts. You will be able to finish question bank in less time. So that's why easier question bank is always good compared to the difficult question bank. I'm assuming you have only two choices, either easier or difficult question bank. Go for easy question bank. If you have enough time, go with the easy and difficult question bank. Even at Falcon, we are providing both the question banks. So easy question bank, which is for conceptual level, and the difficult question bank, which is for the exam level. But in difficult question bank, I know myself, like the questions which I designed are not at exam level. They are more difficult than the exam. So if you practice only difficult question bank with weak concepts, then you are creating problem for yourself. But if you practice, or you are good with the conceptual clarity and you are practicing with the exam level question bank, good enough. But here, when I'm saying easy versus difficult question bank, the difficult question bank which is available in the market, maybe you know the name of that question bank, is the worst choice in my opinion. Why? I'll simply tell you that question, the way questions are drafted in that question bank are super difficult and way too away or far from the actual examination. So you're practicing like flying plane to say clear your car driving license examination. Okay, so you don't practice on plane, right? So you have to practice on car only to clear the car driving license exam or test, right? Then we have the topic sequence. You need to have some topic sequence. And the topic sequence, what is topic sequence, why it is important? This topic sequence is must if you are doing self study, so please make sure you download that topic sequence and watch that video also. Then mock test, how many mock tests and when and which mock test. So how many mock tests? 2 to 3 mock tests are sufficient, which I'm talking about the full rounds as in on all 4 subject 100 marks mock test. When full round of mock, you should appear at least 1 month or at least 25 days before your examination, because you have to fill the gap between your preparation and the actual mock. Again, I'm assuming you're doing self-study here and not from the perspective of students, the Falcon students. And which mock? You can opt for the Falcon's mock, really good mocks and very exam representative. I can tell you, like, irrespective of which practice question bank students used, most of the students were able to score in my mock more like approximately 55 to 60 marks, and those students cleared examination. Okay, so really exam level mock, so you can use that also, or you can use any third party mock. So 2 third party mock plus 1 GART mock. This is the good combination. Okay, this third party can be Falcon, or if you like want to solve some another mock, then you can go for those mocks also. Now here, the real mock or real mock solving, I'm recommending here 1 month or 25 days, but the detailed answer is this. Understand this. Say this is your exam, this is the time when you are starting your preparation, this is your exam day, and this is your exams level. Exams level. Now what happens? Students start their preparation and they start like this. They are doing, they are preparing properly, they are investing their time, they are understanding concepts, and everything is there. But their preparation trajectory may go like this. Like exam is somewhere else and you are preparing like this. Or maybe this is also possible. You are going like this. Okay. Now in this case, what happens? Say you appear for mock just 1 month before examination. And the plan I gave you was like the general plan, okay, to appear for mock 1 month before examination. Now say this is your 1 month before examination and you appear for mock at this particular point. If the mock is exam level, you will realize, okay, there is gap in my preparation versus exam, and you will have only 1 month to fill this gap. So you have to completely change your trajectory in the last 1 month and prepare it from different angle. Think on the concept from the different angle, which will create a problem. And for this reason, I generally recommend to my students, this for the students who are taking classes from Falcon Edition, start your mock just after 10 days of starting your preparation. Now see what happens. Even if your trajectory is slightly off, you will appear for mock. This mock is exam level mock. As soon as you appear for exam level mock, automatically your trajectory will change. Then you will again appear for mock after 20 days, and you will again calibrate your preparation strategy, and you will keep doing this till the exam day, and automatically you will be able to reach the exam requirement. And this is very important. And obviously this mock which starts on the 10th day is not full round mock. This is on first say 6 topics only, but these 6 topics are exam level. So these 6 topics, the mock test on these 6 topics is exam level. So when the mock test is exam level mock test, automatically what happens? You will be able to develop the mindset of exam, and you will apply that mindset on next topics. Say next 10 topics, you will prepare like that, right? And same thing you will apply again and again. Automatically you will be able to calibrate your preparation and you will reach to the exam level. And that's my recommendation for students. Preparation tools, mock exams. Okay. Then how many questions to practice? My general recommendation, as I said, like enough questions you have to practice. So practice approximately 500 to 600 questions which are exam level and which covers the important areas. So this much is more than enough. If you have time, then you should invest your time in, say, more questions. We at Falcon Edition will provide you approximately 3000 questions, but I know 600 to 700 questions are enough. And I'm intentionally saying this Because if you know, like you don't have time to practice 3000 questions, you should be comfortable, you should feel confident that, okay, if I practice 700, 600 questions, I'll be good for the examination. And that's why I'm saying intentionally, even though we have 3000 questions, we will provide you 3000 questions, still I'm saying, okay, 700 questions are more than enough. If you have more time, go for the more questions like this. Can you prepare in less than 4 months? Yes, you can prepare. We already discussed this. Students are able to clear exam in like 4 months, 3 months, 2 months also, right? Then preparation steps for the self study and the mindset. Preparation steps are very simple. One, if you are using this self, and second is if you are using the video classes. Now, if you are going the video with video classes of Falcon, then you have to first watch video, and after watching video, the rest of the steps are same for you. Read from material. For students who are taking classes, watching videos, it is not compulsory for you to read from study notes, but I recommend students to read from study notes because at the end, in the examination, you have to read question. So you have to develop or build the habit of reading, right? So if you read, then you will be able to properly handle questions in the examination, and that's the only purpose. If you simply stick with the your own notes created from the videos, good enough. Don't bother about reading if you don't have enough time to read. But if you have time, then my recommendation is to read from notes. You won't need much time to read because you understand all the concepts. You have to simply go through the text once. If you are doing self study, read properly detailed. Your objective should be understanding concepts. Then solve topic questions. Then move to next topic. Again, read, solve questions, and like this. After doing substantial number of topics, appear for some exam level mock to fulfill this particular requirement, which I recommended for students. Same is applicable for students. If you are doing self-study and maybe if you are using this essential course of Falcon Edwin, then you can use this. If you don't have section-wise mocks, then you have to keep preparing like this, right? Your objective in reading should be understanding concepts, and when you are practicing, your objective should be understand concepts. In both the cases, your objective should be understanding concepts. And don't be like, okay, when you are practicing, you are like, okay, I need to make sure I score maximum in the practice. No, you are practicing. When you are practicing, focus on the concept, try to build the concept instead of getting correct answer. The objective of practice is not to get the correct answer. Objective of practice is to get the conceptual clarity. To get the correct answer, with this objective, appear for mocks, not the practice, right? Then, once you are done with the subject, I would recommend you to revise, and your revision schedule should start at least 2 months before examination. So whatever you have prepared in these like first 2 months, start revising that part and simultaneously prepare. So you'll be revising and preparing. Now let's talk about the mindset you need to have for FRM exam or exam like FRM. So most of you are going to appear for the exam or FRM like exam for the first time. And for this reason, you need to have some mindset. Irrespective of what question bank or which question bank you used, which study material you used, you took classes, you did self-study, or whatever is the case, your exam is not going to be easy for you. Exam is, or the exam feels difficult. This is the nature of exam because most of the questions in the exam you will see are new for you. You are going to see those type of questions for the first time. And remember, when I'm saying you are going to see those questions for the first time, this doesn't mean that those questions are difficult. It is just you are seeing it for the first time. And when you see those questions, what happens generally with the students who are very well prepared? They see, say, they solve first 10 questions, and out of first 10 questions, they are only able to answer 2 questions confidently, and 8 questions they are dicey. Okay, so they're not able to answer 8 questions properly. In this situation, they lose their confidence, they panic in the examination. I have heard from the students like there someone sitting next to them started crying in the exam because they panicked in the exam. And make sure this doesn't happen. What you have to do is you have to pick question. Okay, question number 4 I'm solving. I'll see this question as a unique or only question in the examination. I will solve this question. I'll move to fifth question. Don't bother about what happened in the first four questions. Then appear for fifth question, solve that question, move to sixth question. Doesn't matter if your answer is correct or not. You have to make sure you are not panicking in the examination because the questions are new for you. Even if it happens with the first 15 questions, don't bother. Also remember one thing, if you are a very well prepared candidate and if the question is new and difficult for you, assuming like yes, amazing candidate sitting for the examination, and if the question is new for you, then what is the probability that the same question is really easy for rest of the students? It is not possible. You have to always say to yourself, even if this is the case, say question number 16 is difficult for you only and for rest of the people it is very easy, you won't know it, right? So what you have to tell to yourself, like, okay, I am well prepared candidate. If this question is difficult for me, this question is difficult for each and every candidate. And with this mindset, definitely you will be able to get success in the examination. You will be able to maintain your patience, calm, composure in the examination, and you will be able to do good in the exam. Panicking in the exam, which will happen if you don't know this particular situation or thing in the advance, students will panic in the exam. So make note of this and act accordingly. Now, how to develop the mindset or how to practice for this situation? Appear for mocks which contains a lot of new questions. So this is what we do. So in we have series of mock tests which we call it as an infinity mock test. Those are the newly drafted questions, and I ask students to appear for those mocks multiple times. Now what happens, every time it will generate new mock. So when they appear for the mock, almost all the questions are new for them. When they appear for these type of mocks again and again, they develop the habit of seeing new questions, maintaining calm and appearing for that question and taking the right answer. And when you do this, obviously you'll be able to maintain the same calm and composure in the examination, and then you'll be able to do good or amazing in your examination, and you will definitely get the success in exam. And that's all from my side from on the mindset. Now let's move to the study sequence. Okay, now let's discuss the topic sequence which you must use for your FRM Part 1's preparation. Now the question here is why I'm saying you must use for your FRM Part 1 preparation. Why this topic sequence is so important that you must use. To understand this, let's consider the way GARP structured its curriculum. So we have 4 books, book 1, 2, 3, 4. And a student who is applying his common sense will say, okay, I'll start with the book 1, then I'll go to book 2, then book 3 and book 4. Now, problem with this approach is to understand the concepts which are given in the book 1, you need to first understand the concepts which are given in the book 3. Now, the student will say, okay, I'll start with the book 3. What's the problem in that? Now, to understand the concepts which are given in the book 3, you need to first understand the concepts which are given in the book 2. And this is the problem. So this particular thing, the way GARP structured its curriculum, creates a lot of friction in students' preparation. And this will also consume a lot of time, and you will also feel underconfident because you won't be able to understand concepts because you don't understand the concepts which are given in the latter book. So to improve your understandability and to optimize your preparation, I'm saying this particular document is very, very important for you. From where you can download this document. So this document or this file, the study plan. Study plan is mainly the study sequence and difficulty level of the topics. So there are 2 parts in the study plan. So you will see the study topic sequence, and then we have the difficulty level. Okay. So to download this, you can download it from Falcon Defense free download or free resource section. So you will see in free resource, you will see free download section, download it from there. Or I will also drop link of the study plan in the description. So you have to click on the link, simply fill the form, and you will be able to download the study plan. This is for free download. Okay, you don't have to pay anything for this. Now here, what is the concept or what is the logic I applied while designing this study plan? So this study plan provides the whole like topic sequence in the form of structured preparation. So you have this structure in months format. So month 1, that is January, Feb, March, April. In May, you have your examination. You can follow this or you can use the study plan even for November examination. Simply replace January with July. That's it, right? And here, if you are following this, then in January, we have 4 weeks. So the sequence is divided in the weeks format. So in week 1, you have 4 chapters. In week 2, you have 5 chapters, then so on for the rest of the like months. So for Feb and March. I would like to discuss the 1 month for you so that you are able to understand what's given here. So see here, this is January 2024. In week 1, you have to prepare these 4 chapters. These 4 chapters are from book 2. How to understand these are from book 2? It is mentioned here. Okay, so 2 means book 2. Here you will see book 3. So it is mentioned as 3. Here for book 4, it is mentioned like this. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Nothing is difficult here. Now here in week 1, we have 4 chapters, and in week 2, you will see there are 5 chapters. So you may think like, okay, week 2, you need to invest a lot of time in week 2 compared to week 1, but this is not the case. Week 1 is slightly heavy. It will require slightly more time to prepare. And for this reason, I intentionally kept week 2 slightly lighter. Okay, so this approach is followed here. One more approach I followed is like all the topics which requires you to practice, or the topics which requires a lot of practice are covered first, and the topics which requires less practice are covered later. Because very obviously, so if you consider even the book 1, in book 1 we have a lot of theory content. And if you prepare theory part in the very beginning of your preparation, so by the time your exam is near, you will forget all of that theory and you have to prepare the theory again. So for this reason, the theory or the topics which requires you to lot of like memorize content are covered near to examination, and topics which requires a lot of practice are covered like in the earlier stage. So this method is also, or this approach is also followed in this sequence. Okay, now see here, this is heavy. So if you say, for example, if you are unable to prepare T4, you can prepare T4 in the week 2, but try to make sure like you are able to finish whatever is given for that week in that week itself. But as I said, I know like a particular week is slightly heavier compared to the latter week. So I intentionally designed a sequence like this. So if the previous week is heavy like this, the next week will be lighter. Now again, the question is why I'm saying it is lighter. There are 5 chapters. So out of these 5 chapters, these 3 chapters are very theoretical chapters. Takes very like 3 or 4 hours at max to prepare. So mainly you will be preparing these 2 chapters only. So that's for this reason, this week 2 is lighter compared to week 1. Okay, and you have to keep following this for all the other weeks. Now here one more thing for first 3 chapters of book 3. My recommendation is if you are very new to field of finance, then you prepare these topics in the beginning itself, in the week 2 itself. If you already understand all the terminologies, basic vocabulary of the finance, you are not new to finance, then you can skip these topics, because as I said, these are very theoretical topics. You can do it later also, but I intentionally kept it in the week 2 for the students who are very new to field of finance. But if you are not new to the field of finance, then obviously you can skip it and do it later. You can directly start with the T4. Obviously your T4 will come in the week 2 itself, right? So this is the structure. So for every month, Jan 4 weeks, Feb 4 weeks, and same thing is followed here also. You can see week 4 of Jan is very heavy. So week 1 of Feb is very light. Okay, so there are 3 chapters, takes a very less time to prepare. So whatever you have pending from this month, you can finish in the Feb's first week like this. And similarly, we have March. Again, you can read it or use this sequence. And in the April, we have our main preparation will end in the week 2 of April itself. In May, you have your examination. In week 3, you have 3 topics to prepare. These are very theoretical topics, takes 3 or 4 hours to prepare at max. And then you have your mock round 1. This mock round 1 should be full mock, 4-hour mock on all subjects. Now here I have suggestion. If you have few topics pending, say 5-6 topics are not prepared by this particular point, still appear for mock round 1, because if you appear for say first round of mock, full mock, say 5 days before examination or 10 days before examination, and you realize there are a lot of gaps in your preparation, you won't have enough time to fill those gaps. And for this reason, I'm saying do it at least 20 days before examination, so that you have enough time to repair all the problems you have in your preparation or fill all the gaps in your preparation, right? Once you appear for mock round 1, my recommendation is to revise all 4 subjects in 5-6 days and then appear for mock round 2. Again, my recommendation is don't appear for any mock in last 7 days of your examination. Why? Because if you score low in that particular mock, it will take toll on your confidence, and with low confidence, no matter how good your preparation is, you will face problem in the examination. So make sure you don't appear for any mock, or at least like appear for mocks 20 days before examination, and don't go for any mock or assess your performance in last 7 days. Last 7 days should be for revising, memorizing, and building confidence, and that's it. Don't solve new questions or don't focus on other parts. Just focus on these things, right? So this is about the basic study plan. Then we have difficulty level of the topics. So this is again divided subject wise instead of sequence. This is subject wise division. And here you will see we have book one, and here you can see the easy, medium difficulty level and medium. Here in book two we have easy, medium, hard, multivariate as tagged as hard topic. Now, what is the importance of difficulty level of these topics? Why you should understand or know the difficulty level? And this is very important for the students who are doing self-study. Understand this. For example, you are preparing chapter number 1 of book 2, Fundamentals of Probability. Say you are feeling this chapter as difficult, then you have to check what is the difficulty level for general students in this topic. This topic is easy. If you are feeling this topic as difficult, but this topic is tagged as easy, then you need to rethink on your preparation strategy. Are you doing the right thing? Whatever is your preparation strategy is the right strategy. Do you need any help in your preparation? So this call you need to take. Second thing, again, say you are preparing chapter number 4 and you are feeling this chapter as very hard, very difficult. And you think, okay, maybe I'm lacking in my preparation. I'm feeling this chapter is very hard. Now you open this document and you see this is hard only. So now here you have to consider this like, okay, the chapter is not hard for me only, it is hard in general. And this will help you in understanding, okay, how is your preparation going on throughout. So these are the two components of this particular document. As I said, first is the sequence with study plan. And then we also have the difficulty level of topics, which is again very important for your preparation. So that's all for the study plan.